Oh, g'day there, Rugby League fans, and welcome back to the Mad Monday podcast, proudly brought to you by 4 and 20 Pies, the perfect at-home snack for watching Rugby League. My name is Tino Fa'asua Manaiawi, and I'm joined, as often I am on a Thursday afternoon, by Adam Whenua-Keezy. G'day, mate. How you going? How was the stand-up gig last night?
Stand-up gig went really well. Crowd was interesting. It was a whole lot of backbones, as you'd imagine.
Yeah, right.
So the actual comedians who'd come from overseas to be there at the start, they just couldn't get a lot of laughs because, it's just not the crowd for that. You know
Did
what I
they
mean?
try yelling backbone?
They tried yelling a lot of really offensive shit, including one thing to a small person who was one of the comedians. That was just
What, the audience yelled that at the
guy behind us, on the table behind us, yelled just like the lamest thing you can think of to yell at a small person. That's what he yelled midway through his set. And it was just like, oh, cool, so this is our audience.
I think... Well, I'm glad you guys are finally aware of it. I think the big show rallies that you're creating here, I think that like heckling a comedian, they probably do too good a job of making it look like they're talking off the cuff. So people think I can just say something off the cuff too. It's like, no, this guy spent all week preparing for this, was really excited to do this, and then you interrupted him.
And like a couple of times, a few of them were like, oh, cool, thanks for talking over the top of my punchline there. That's great. Anyway, so,
yeah. And
I was just like, whoa.
If someone does that to me at the pub, I'm ready to scrap. I can't imagine standing up on stage with a mic. And then, this is why I do podcasts. Because you listening at home, you can slag me off in your car, but I can't hear.
And it doesn't come in unless you record it on iHeartRadio, then it comes into our thing.
And we will play those on the voicemail function on your iHeartRadio app. Let's rip into the team list, Chris, straight up off the top. 4 o'clock Sunday, we're playing the Roosters, who in their last 2 games have scored 100 points.
Oh, God.
They're on an absolute heater at the moment. But we have named our team and a few important ins. For me, Bunty is in. He's going to start. Now, this is a bit of a reshuffle because Capewar did some sort of calf injury. He was off in the first half with the ice pack on his calf.
He's a bit like Kurt Capewar to me so far is turning into a bit of a Marata Niukore. Rib concerns, throat injury, now his calf's fucked.
Yeah.
Like he's a great player, he's very experienced, but we have just got him at the absolute worst point. It's like you bought a mean-ass car of someone that was great back in the day, but now that we've got it, it's done over 200,000 K, it's starting to shit itself. Yeah,
so Marata's still in the mechanic, and Kurt Capewar's now in the mechanic as well. Bunty's going to start off. We sort of talked about this on Monday, me and Di, about Kurt Capewar not really having the impact as like a hard line runner that we sort of needed out on that right edge. And I'd be interested to see how Barnett's going to go in that role. I said on Monday I wouldn't mind seeing him back out in the back row just while Marata's still out.
You know what we do is Marata, not Niukore, Mitch Barnett in 12, we leave him in the back row. We also get him to be our goal kicker.
Yeah.
Just like full vintage Barnett from 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah. But
in the back row and kicking goals.
Remember when we went and interviewed him last year? We did the profile pic interviews with them, made them draw pictures of each other.
That's right.
Those are still up on social media. Go and have a look. While it wasn't filming, I think, we may have actually even been filming. It didn't make the final video. I asked him if he would kick, and he said he'd had what he referred to as the snip. Some sort of groin operation to where he's had to hang the goal kicking boots up.
Oh, wow. Okay. So they cut part of his groin, which means he doesn't have full range of motion anymore.
I guess. I sort of took it as like, I don't understand what circumcision.
Or he got a vasectomy or a circumcision.
Why you wouldn't be able to kick goals without a foreskin. But he's had some sort of surgery to where he can't kick goals anymore. But I agree with you. Like, why not? I mean, it'd save Sean Johnson, who's quite clearly hampered.
Well, apparently, and this is from... I don't even know where I heard this, but Sean's not even training. He's not even fully training. During week, he's
Gus
barely
Gould
training.
Said that.
Was it Gus Gould?
Yeah.
And he's just playing at the weekends.
When we were talking to him the other day.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yes, but you're right.
So it's like, far out, like, that really concerns me. It's like, why don't we just give Sean like a month off?
Yeah, and again, said on Monday, the way I would run it is we've got the bye-in round, I think, 15, so we've got another 3 games, then we've got a bye. Give him the last game off, which I think is against the Dolphins. And then he's essentially got a 3-week stretch there where he can recover.
I mean, maybe this is something that we would do if we had won the games we were supposed to win. We'd go, right. You know what? Have a few weeks off, Shawnee. We got this. But at the moment, we don't got shit.
No, and we also don't got another halfback.
No, that's an issue too. But your theory of putting RTS there, I've thought about it after watching us get pumped.
No, it's 6, I think.
At 5'8", yeah. So, yeah, I'd be all for that, actually.
Just get him...
Just try anything, man. Fuck.
Yeah, that's right. And it's my PlayStation theory. If you had Stacey Jones Rugby League on PlayStation right now and you had this roster with all the injuries that we've got, you'd be like, RTS needs to get the ball more.
Yeah.
He's one of the best ball runners we've got.
It's like when you put Jonah Lomu at halfback on Jonah Lomu Rugby so that he puts the ball into the scrum, then picks it up and then just runs for a try.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
No, I like that theory. And one of the things I'm concerned about with Coach Webster is how he sticks to his guns.
Yeah.
But his guns aren't firing, and he's made no changes.
This is the problem, and I didn't mind it because I think what changed for the Warriors is a bit of consistency. On offense, we were just going down the right. Our kick every single time is to the corner. Rocco Berry tackles him. That's all we're doing. We do that over and over again, and then we won all those games last year. I think the difference, as I've said a few times now, is that Sean Johnson's just a step slower than last year, which is no shot at him. It's just he was the best player in the league last year. And
second best, sorry, bro, Callum Ponga.
And then also just we were staunch on defense and didn't give away penalties, which is what's changed this season.
Fuck, man. And like I apologize if you're watching the commentary and I'm on there. Whenever, like, we had a defensive penalty, I think in the first defensive set or even the second, and we even had the little box on the screen where you could see me and Die, and I was just like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, just furious straight away. We're not even gassed yet. I usually blame it on, we're running out of gas, we don't have enough reserve people coming off the interchange. I get it. Straight away. What's that about?
Was that for one of the penalties we gave away?
Yeah.
Yeah, they are frustrating. It's it's all of the players that have been interviewed over the last week have said the same thing too. They've said it's just we're giving away way too many penalties, and it's buggering us because there's so many games now where we've been knocking on their door for about 12 tackles. We give the ball away, then we give them a penalty. Now we've just attacked for 12. Now we're down on our own line, and we're buggered.
We wouldn't make it as a Jehovah's Witness, mate. We're knocking on the door, then they open it, and we just, don't worry about it.
Sorry, never mind.
That's it, yeah, never mind.
Do you want to come around my house?
You're pretty much, the back door's open, you go straight in there.
You just go straight in there, yeah.
And the other thing, too, is like, we gave away all those defensive penalties. We gave away a shitload of 6 agains.
Yeah.
It just compounds and compounds until they score a try or get a penalty or something happens. The other thing, too, is Greg Marju, leading try scorer last year, at various times throughout his career, despite the fact that he's one of the best ball-running wingers in the game, he has been dropped because he sucks on defense and he sucks under the high ball. We kicked one ball to him with the try line and range. It was the one where Dallin jumped, caught it, and then got tackled for not a penalty try.
Yep.
Why did we only do that once? That'll be top of my attack sheet if I, just
drop it on his head.
Yeah, every time, but we just didn't do it.
Well, and we don't have an opportunity to do it this week either because we are playing the Roosters, and looking back at the team sheet, you can't do it to Daniel Tupou, you can't do it to Dominic Young, so that's not an option for us this weekend.
No.
And this is a red-hot Roosters team. Angus Crichton is playing out of his mind at the moment. He wants
an Origin spot.
He's got it.
This is what I was talking about this on our show the other day. I was like, all right, Luke Carey, he's announced his retirement. He wants to win.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? You've got James Tedesco. People are saying for the first time in years he might not be in Origin. He wants to fucking win. So he's playing for Origin. You've got Joey Manu, who's going to rugby union next year. He wants to have a crack this year. You've got Angus Crichton, who wants to be at Origin. You've got Jared White-Hargreaves. It's his 300th game. It's probably his final season. He wants to win. Like, we are going up against a Roosters side that is not only on a heater and full of great names, but they all are like, we need to win this year. We've got stuff to prove.
They almost look like an all-star team, reading through their list. James Tedesco, Daniel Tupou, Suali'i, Manu Young, Kerry Walker, JWH. Brandon Smith has been named, but he was out last week with a bit of a niggle. Lindsay Collins, who's State of Origin fullback. Angus Crichton,
he so is.
Nat Butcher, Victor Radley's back in as well. I think probably how we win this is Victor Radley gets binned, sent off.
He's been too good. We need to force him to head high someone.
And thankfully for us, Jazz Tavanga's back in the team to do just that.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Wade Egan. I was like, don't you dare say it.
No, not Wade Egan. But the other thing as well is Freddie Lussick has served his suspension. Now, he's been named in the reserves at number 23, but I wouldn't be shocked to see him put on the bench because I feel like our dear friend Wade Egan has been carrying an outsized workload because there's been no Freddie Lussick.
So this is the other thing that I looked at the interchange and I was like, what the hell's going on? Why is Adam Pompey on there again? It is such a waste of a spot. I don't understand.
He won't be in there.
He won't be, right? No. But he was last week, and I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, but he was named 18th man last week.
And then they swapped him in.
Yeah.
So, like, what is the point in having Jacob Laban, a big back row? I know he's young, but he is someone that we need forwards. We need forwards. What's the point of having him 18th man and Pompey at 17 if Pompey's not even going to come on unless there's an injury? Put Pompey at 18. Like, it's just...
I think what they've been doing for most of this season is naming Adam Pompey as a sacrificial lamb so that the press don't ask about whoever they're actually playing.
But then last week...
They did that with Laban, they did it with Mau. Well.
But then last week, the lamb didn't get sacrificed.
They did it the other way around.
And I was sitting there with my bun and my mint jelly like, are you guys going to kill that lamb or what, man? No, you're just leaving it? Okay, sweet as, don't even worry about it.
They led Adam Pompey to the slaughter because he was named at 18th man and then brought in. Tumultuous season for him, and you can hear him talking all about it at the halftime show of the Warriors commentary in our epic series, thanks to Trust Motors, Off the Back Fence. It'll be on social media as well.
Off the back seat.
Off the back seat, sorry, yeah. God. It's been so long coming up with that.
I never forget a really good play on words, man. That's ingrained in here.
Adam Pompey, by the way, picked you know what, I don't want to spoil it, but I did not fit in the back seat of the car he picked.
Oh, a little two-door coupe or something?
So,
hell yeah.
Keep an eye on that one. Walker, I think, has been playing incredibly for the Roosters as well.
I thought you meant Dylan Walker. Yeah, you're right. Sam Walker has really turned, especially 2 weeks ago, that game against the Dragons.
Dylan Walker, though, also has been playing well for us.
He's like, he comes off the bench and all of a sudden we can actually attack a wee bit.
I wouldn't mind seeing him start. I just think Tamati Martin hasn't been bad, but there hasn't been enough of him.
Tamati Martin he's not vanilla ice cream. He's like French vanilla ice cream.
Delicious.
Oh, absolutely delicious.
Smooth.
But usually if you're going to have it, you have to have something else going on. I want someone who's like at least a bit of hokey pokey so you can kind of justify having it. Like, he just doesn't offer much. He's very solid. Defensively, he's all good. Yeah. But he's not sparking anything.
No, you kind of get the vibe that he's playing not to make a mistake.
Correct, which is not how you want to play.
No, which we don't really need. We do need that sort of twist on the end of the punch. The other, I mean, there's so many guns all across this Roosters team. One of them that's really fired up since his return is Dom Young, or as we call him on this podcast, Dong Yum.
Dong Yummy.
He has been absolutely outstanding ever since he absolutely killed someone in a game a few weeks ago.
Blake Taff, who, by the way, is now lost the fullback position to Connor Tracy.
And then he got his shirt ripped. He's looking hot, I've got to be honest with you. And now he's come back and he's been looking absolutely out of his mind as well.
He's just, 6'6"?
Probably.
Hot.
Great chest. Great definition on the chest.
Amazing chest.
Just a little sprinkling of hair.
Yeah, like usually I'm not into dudes' chests. Yeah, holy shit. Dong Yum. I can get around.
Yeah. So, look, all told, on paper, you would have to say, you know, when they do those picks across, Channel 9 or Fox or whatever over in the States, and they have 15 different pundits and they all make their picks, I would have to say that on our line of that little graphic that they make, it'll all be Roosters. Everyone will be picking the Roosters to win this game. And the TABR as well.
And my face will be down there picking the Roosters as well. And I'm sick of people saying this. I can smell an upset here from the Warriors. This is like, yeah, cool. I know the Warriors have in the past upset teams, but at Allianz Stadium with this team, with these players right now...
You can't smell it.
Not at all. I can't smell shit.
You might as well have COVID at this stage.
Yeah, exactly. You
might as well have put on a Swan Dry for the first time since you put it in your cupboard for winter last winter, and then now it's full of fucking dust and you've been sneezing all day at your desk and people are thinking, you crook, but it's actually just because of all the dust that's coming out of your dusty ass fucking jersey.
Always,
and not being able to smell anything.
Always, and my wife does this all the time. She'll put a sweatshirt on that she hasn't worn in a decade.
Yeah.
And then be starting to sneeze. She'll go, oh God, I think my hay fever's coming back. I'm like, no, you just put on that dusty ass sweater, hang it on the line for 2 hours.
That's right. Yeah, no, I put one of Lucy's jerseys on before I came into work this morning. That's what's happening with me. So I can't...
Wait, I don't even get that. What?
I was talking about my own jersey.
Ah, yeah.
But actually...
Oh, quick question.
8 inches.
Okay, never mind.
No,
another one.
Yes.
You look at
the left one.
You look at their reserves, right?
Yeah.
Egan Butcher, Satili Tupanua, Suya Wong.
Siwa.
Oh, sorry, Siwa Wong.
Yeah, now have a go at the next one.
Fitalanga Poga.
Sure.
Ponga. Those three in particular, Egan, Satili, and Siwa.
Yeah.
Fuck, we would play all of those.
They would start.
They would be starting for the Warriors.
Starting for the Warriors.
This is I know we've used the term embarrassment of riches for the Warriors, but the Roosters have this on another level. And of course, Spencer Leniu comes back after his racial slur against Ezra Mam.
Yeah. So look, I think that there's a couple of baitable players in here. We talked about Victor Radley, Spencer Leniu.
Yeah, we can fire him up.
Has he learned his lesson?
No.
Let's find out. Let's just see if we can trigger a little bit of a,
Yeah.
little bit of some slur action out of Spencer and see if we can, any sort of advantage that we can get from this game.
Get some slur action
Get some
going.
slurring going. Yeah, look, I think these last three games we've sort of been in a bit of a not a tailspin, but just skidding out a little bit. And we've been looking to course correct and straighten up. The last game was really our opportunity to do it.
Do you know what I want to see us do now? It's like I'm at the my vibe has completely switched to yes, Roger Tuivasa-Sheck at 5'8" is a great idea. I also want to see us doing early expansive football,
Shifting it
around because so many the Storm have started doing that every now and then. That's how remember that amazing comeback game they had against us. They did it by shifting it around a lot. Just start doing something that isn't predictable because we're not winning the battle in the middle anymore. It's
just not our DNA under Webster. He just won't do it.
Yeah.
His whole thing is consistency, accountability, completion rate.
Here's another question. Ed Corsi is in the reserves.
Yeah.
What's that about? You know what I mean? I haven't seen Ed Corsi in the reserves for a while.
Nah, he's
winger.
He was.
Has he been floating around in there?
Yeah. But yeah, no, he was excellent when he played those few games for us.
He's just solid, right? He's not going to light the world on fire, but he's
scored a lot of tries.
Yes, and he's
Big
not.
bastard.
He is a big fella, and he was famously working in a factory a few weeks before being called in, which was cool. But I want to see Webster make some changes if we get an absolute hiding. And I don't want to sound downbuzz. For everyone listening, Keezy, fuck, stop being so downbuzz. I want the Warriors to win, man. I'm just in this area right now where I've just lost a bit of the,
Yeah, you're expressing sentiment felt by a lot of the New Zealand public.
Yeah.
But I would say that particularly the bandwagoners, and I'm not saying you're one of them, I'm just saying that the bandwagoners are particularly downtrodden at the moment because they all thought...
I would say that after I just carried on about how downtrodden I was.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying that a lot of people that only had a passing interest in the Warriors last year are now coming up to me being like, what the hell? I thought the Warriors were awesome.
Who's that, Matt Heath again?
We've got to stop. I know a lot of people have been in the Mad Monday Munters group on Facebook. They've been in Matt and Jerry's Facebook group as well. A lot of noise on social media telling the Pinot Noirs to just fucking put it away because since they've started, the Warriors have lost everything. They're pinning a lot of it. What I need you to understand is the more you tell Matt Heath to stop doing something, the more he's going to continue to do it. So we just need to starve them of oxygen. The analogy I use is like your little cousin who wanted to play PlayStation with you. You unplug his controller, but give it to him. He thinks he's playing. That's what we're doing with them. We're just leaving them over there. They think they're being fans like us. Sweet. Go ahead. Take photos of your own face in your lounge drinking a red wine. But we just need to starve them of oxygen.
Yeah. And I noticed they're trying to get back on side with us by going cask wine now, which is a bit more rugged, but still.
Yeah.
Look, I don't have a good feeling about this, but Sunday, 4:00, I'm going to be watching, and if we get the dub over the Roosters, it is officially a massive turning point. It's a kind of win that will just get our sails full of air. We'll be hissing along, but if not, it's all good because we've got the Panthers next week.
Yeah, in Magic Round. I'm sure they'll chalk that up as one of our home games as well.
God.
So Keezy can't smell it. I got to be honest with you, I can't smell it either. So I think that's probably both of our predictions. But
that just means when we go in to watch the game, if it's the opposite, I'm going in with no expectations at all, which is great.
100%. The 4 and 20 4-pack prize pack is still on the go as well. Of course, the podcast, as always, brought to you by 4 and 20 Pies. We've got 4 tickets to the next home game and 4 and 20 pie vouchers as well. So if you want to win that, just text the monthly keyword to 3236. This month, the keyword is EAT. EAT. So text EAT to 3236 to be in to win. We are going to take a quick break and then come back and SuperCoach all over your face. Alrighty, Chris, I think there's some pretty interesting ramifications in the SuperCoach world this year to go through, this week in particular, I mean. Here's a little stat for you that I've dug up off one of the Instagram pages that I follow, one of the million.
I was going to say off another podcast's Instagram page.
Yeah, that you should probably be listening to instead of us. All three May brothers have scored in the first week of May.
That was pretty cool because obviously Terrell May got a double for the Roosters and then Taylor finally did something and scored against the Bunnies there. But their other brother was, I noticed, because he's playing the grade below, but he had jersey number 27 on.
Shout out to him.
Which means for him to even be in the side, let alone scoring a try so that the trifecta could be complete. It's pretty cool.
So I'll be drafting all the June brothers into my squad after this.
I was about to say, though, that's the kind of, if you could somehow bet on all three of them, that's the kind of bet you would do.
100%. Yeah, that's a huge omen punt. Big vibe punt. I think the headline in SuperCoach this week is, what do you do if you had Pappenhausen? Did you have Pappenhausen?
I have Tommy Turbo and Trey Fuller.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I don't have Pappenhausen, no.
A lot of people had Trey Fuller. Do you think if you didn't have Trey Fuller and you did have Pappy, do you think it's too late to go to Trey Fuller? He's already made about 100K.
He's made 140K, and news came out that Hamiso is playing next week.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't go to Trey Fuller.
So what do you do if you had Pappy? Because at the start of the season, it was like, just pick your two favourite gun fullbacks.
Yeah.
But now...
Well, now
Pong is out. Trell's back, but
you don't want to play. And Trell also said he's going to concentrate on the Rabbitohs and not do State of O. So
State of O said, "Thanks, mate. We probably weren't going to pick you."
Thanks. But that means that he will be around during the buy rounds and that. So that's kind of cool. But I heard a stat the other day on another podcast that people should probably be listening to. That I think it's out of the top 30 players in their roster for the Rabbitohs, you know how they have to name their top 30? It was less than 15 players are healthy right now. I think it was 13 or something. They're a shambles.
They're asking the NRL for dispensation for injured players and loan players and all sorts.
Yeah, it's an absolute shambles there, and I don't think having Trell back is enough.
And also, I think that's a line through any other Rabbitohs player as well.
Yes, absolutely.
Even Cody Walker, because 5'8" has been a wasteland and people have been like, oh shit, Cody Walker?
Well, he's the same price as a Luke Galvin or something. But the thing with Cody Walker is at the weekend, I think it was the one just gone, he had 2 early try assists and I was like, oh shit, Cody Walker's back. Yeah. He finished with 40-something points.
Yeah.
So outside of those 2, he did nothing.
Yeah. So I think your options at fullback are Drinkwater. I think most people will be going to.
So I think if you can go to Drinkwater, sweet, because he's lost a bit of cash because they've had some tough games. I believe this weekend, I think the Cowboys are playing the Titans.
Yeah.
So there's every chance Drinkwater's going to start going back up in cash.
Go Titans hunting.
Yeah, exactly.
I think he has a high break-even Drinkwater, so you could wait to get him next week. I think he'd be the one that most people would get. Dylan Edwards.
Oh, Dylan Edwards, the highest scoring player in fantasy this year.
Yes, yeah. He is also one of the highest cost players. He's 900 and something thousand.
927. But the thing with Dylan Edwards is, presuming he doesn't get picked for State of Origin, because there's a lot of talk of him at fullback rather than Teddy for NSW, whenever Cleary's not in the side, and they'll rest Cleary because he's coming off a hammy and Origin and blah, blah. And last year, they brought him back after Origin, he got injured. Dylan Edwards is a freak without Cleary because he gets the kicking.
Yeah.
And he just involves himself more.
It's also why he's the highest scoring player in fantasy, because Cleary has been out. So Cleary's now back in, and he's 900,000. I just don't think I'd be going for Edwards when you can do what's his name, Drinkwater for 200K less.
Yeah.
Do you risk it and roll the dice on Teddy?
Well, Teddy's cheap.
Do you go Podesco?
James Podesco, who, by the way, is having a great season. He's just got the concussion and dropped a whole lot of money. So he's 636,000, James Podesco.
So you're making money if you trade Pappy to Podesco.
Oh, you're generating cash. He also
break even of 1.
Break even of 1. He scored 112 against the Broncos and 81 against the Dragons. He's got a pretty easy matchup with the Warriors this week. Just joking.
How dare you?
Just joking.
How dare you?
Then the Sharks, Canberra, North Queensland, Para. Then the Bulldogs, West. He's got a really good run coming up.
Yes, he does. But then also Origin.
Yeah. I think number one option, Drinkwater.
Yep.
Because he's probably not going to be in Origin. The Cowboys have got a nice run coming up. That's who I would be going for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't mind that. Also, there's Reece Walsh floating out there.
Yes, who's now kicking because Adam Reynolds is out.
He's now kicking because Adam Reynolds is out. that one for me is just I just don't want him in
No,
the team.
I don't want to support him either. But he's also probably going to Origin.
Yeah.
Fullback for Queensland.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So there's a few different ways you can play that. I think most people will go to Drinkwater. Me, I'm not going to. I'll explain what I'm going to do later on.
Yeah.
Dong Yum.
Oh, Yum.
One of our favourite players. He is priced, I think, he's within about $2,000 or $3,000 of Roger Tuivasa-Sheck.
He is, oh yeah, so Dom Young is $549,700.
Yeah.
Roger, $549,100. So you need $600 to go straight from Roger to him.
Yeah, that's right. He has a negative break even. I think you've got to
Negative 4.
You've got to put aside the negative 14 score that he had when everyone had him at the start of the season.
I had him.
Yeah.
And I've already put it aside because he's back in my side.
The notorious Pantsman Joel Harrison captained him. And
got negative 32, I think it was.
In case you're wondering, it does double, yeah.
That was so funny. So I think this is the cheapest you're going to get, Dom Young.
Oh, yeah.
He's on the end of that amazing Roosters side. I brought him in this week, and I was just like, stuff it. He's coming in. So I've stacked my centre wings.
Yeah, well, speaking of centre wing, Garrick, Sako, you were saying just then, Dong Yum, you could probably throw Lomax in there. Of all of those guys, who would be the one that you'd be going to if you didn't have any of them?
Well, I said last week that I was getting a Sako in.
Yeah.
He then scored 150.
And you didn't get him in?
No, I did get him in.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, I crushed it last week. I went up like 6,000 places in the world or something. So Isako, I think, because he was quite cheap, he's not anymore, 776.
Still a negative break even though.
Which means he's going to be over 900,000 next week.
Which
probably.
I'm going to get him in this week.
Yeah.
And I'm going to forego having a superstar fullback because one of those guys will get me to one down the track. I just
correct.
don't love any of the options that are there.
No one's jumping out, which is interesting. So I think Isako this week's great because his bye coverage is really good.
Yep.
He's going to be kicking for the Dolphins. They play all 3 bye rounds.
He does not play Origin because he is a Kiwi.
That's right. Garrick I've got as well. I think a lot of people have Garrick, so if you don't have him now, pod it. Point of difference, go for another player, another gun.
Yeah, I understand that, but he also has a negative break even.
Negative 36. He currently costs 689, and whilst Tom is away at State of Origin, he will play fullback.
Yeah, so at the moment, that's who I'm dropping Pappy for is Garrick.
Yeah, it's not a bad play.
I'm moving Garrick to fullback with the intention that Asako is going to make enough money that I could get if one of these gun fullbacks rounds into form, I can get him in. Sorry.
Can I suggest another?
Yep. Bye.
Fa'alongo for the Storm.
Sua Fa'alongo, yeah.
I heard a crazy stat. Like, he hasn't even played a combined 80 minutes at fullback yet, but he's scored 3 tries.
He looked incredible. There was some room. He went off with some sort of injury.
He went off with an injury, so he's been named this week.
Yeah.
He's not cheap. He's about 330-something thousand, right? He's not bottom. However, he's only played 1 game this season, so watch him this week.
Yeah.
He's also centre wing fullback. Next week, you've got your Trey Fuller there. Hammer's coming back. Wait to see if they name Fuller again. And then if not, you did right. No other fullbacks are jumping out at the moment. Bring Fa'alongo in to fullback for a few weeks while they see what happens with Pappenhausen, because he's injured that ankle so many times. He might not be 4 to 6 weeks. He could be way longer than that.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't. And then also, if you get on Fa'alongo this week, if you've got the luxury of being able to do that, and he goes bang, you'd feel so stoked with yourself.
Yeah.
You'd be like, of course he was going to. Didn't you see that try?
Did you see? He is a freak of nature. He's still quite small, but you can wait till next week. You don't have to rush him in this week.
Yep.
Wait till next week because he'll be the same price and he'll have a massive negative break even.
And you'll have a bit more data to go off.
So that's what I'm going to do next week. Trey Fuller out. He's already would have made me
money.
A shitload of cash by then. Straight to Fa'alongo, doing what you're doing, just chilling at fullback, just waiting to see. And then I'll probably go like a Drinky or an Edwards or something.
Yeah, let it play out. Sal's, obviously Pappy, that's a no-brainer. I have also put in here any Raider that starts with S. Schiller, Strange, Smithies, Savage. They're all on a bye, so you could hold them through this week.
I agree with all of them except for Smithies.
Yeah?
Just because you don't need to rush out a back rower who's going to get you 50 week in, week out, especially with bye rounds coming up.
Yeah.
You need to get rid of those wingers because they're going to drop cash because they've stopped scoring tries.
Yeah.
So definitely get rid of Savage. He got like 12 the other day or something. You need to get rid of him. And Schiller and Strange, yeah, I agree.
DWZ is another one that's on there. I got to be honest with you, and I'll be burning a flag out in the foyer after this if you want to join me, but almost anyone that plays for the One New Zealand Warriors.
That isn't called AFB.
That isn't called Adam Whanua-Blake.
Or Chance, who's going decent
or
at
Chance.
fullback. Or and Rogers fine, getting 50 a week.
If by some miracle you have Dylan Edwards in your team, Dylan Walker in your team.
Yeah.
He scored 73. I think he scored 70-something the week before as well. He's going bang at the moment.
Yeah, he's going well.
5'8", second row forward, eligible.
It's an interesting mix, and 5'8's a wasteland, as you said. The only thing is, I want a guy who's playing 80.
Yeah.
But
so that's DWZ.
I had DWZ this week.
RTS.
I brought him in 3 weeks ago because we had this lovely, tasty matchup. He shat the bed, lost 200k, and my inner brain is like, hold on to him. He's going to come back. You know, he almost scored, but Greg Marju almost killed him.
Thinking with your heart.
But nah, got rid of him straight away.
Mulitalo with Braden Trindle in the slammer. The Sharks aren't going left as often, and Mulitalo's scores have started dropping. He has a sky-high break even.
Yeah, so people that were on him to start the season, pat yourself on the back, fucking awesome.
Yeah.
He's been sick.
Hop off.
If you had to describe the worst 3-game period that's coming up, the worst 3 teams to play, who would they be?
I'd go the Broncos, the Panthers, and God, probably either the Roosters or the Storm.
They're going Storm, Roosters, Panthers.
Yeah.
So Mulitalo is going to lose a shitload of cash.
Yeah.
And then over the, bring him in at like round 15 or something, because once he's bottomed right out and the team gets all back together and Trindle's back, hopefully, he'll go back up again.
Yeah, that's right. And it's an easy way to go to Asako. You could go to Garrick and make money.
Yeah, Dom Young make a shitload of money. You
could even bring in your favourite fullback for that.
Absolutely.
So yeah, Mulitalo I think out as well. Smokey, we talked about old Podesco. I don't mind that if you want to go home at fullback.
My other Smokey real quick.
Yes.
I mentioned him last week, Dane Gagai kicking for the Knights.
Yeah, that's a great shout.
Because it rained against us last week, so he just I think he got like 60, but that's him in a wet game doing fuck all.
Yeah. And people were worried that they were going to shit the bed as a team for quite a while.
Yes, and I still am. So I haven't brought him in again this week. Once again, I want to see him on a dry track when they're scoring well, how he goes. If he goes well, his break-even's like 50, so he might make 20, 30 grand.
Right.
Keep an eye on him because I don't think is going to play Origin.
No.
Great Origin coverage.
Well.
He might. Who knows,
Origin Gagai, though.
I know Origin Gags. I love it.
Origin Gags is a real thing. And my Smokey for the week is Connor Watson. He is hooker eligible. He is at 549. He's a minus 49 break even, and he has been a revelation for the Sydney City Roosters this season.
You know how we have healthy discussions and not arguments? I think this is one of them. I think that's a terrible idea.
Why?
I think you bring him in and he'll make some money, obviously.
Yeah.
Don't go near the Roosters forward pack. He's now on the bench. He was starting, I think, or he was playing big minutes because of injuries.
Yeah.
Radley's back.
Yes.
So he's starting
he was
a lot.
playing 13.
That's right.
But he's now, and he's covering hooker as well. Brandon Smith's injured.
All I know is, as someone who still has Terrell May, and I'll probably keep him for a wee while still because I don't care about front rowers. It is like those 3 guys I named earlier in the potty that are on the bench for the Roosters.
Yeah.
That aren't even in the side. Like, I wouldn't recommend, other than anyone named Angus Crichton, you shouldn't have any of those Roosters forwards, including Connor Watson, who's coming off the bench now.
No, I think Connor Watson, he's in that like genuine 14 role. It's not just because they couldn't fit him on the park. He can play 13, he can play hooker, he can play second row.
Because he's a great player.
And he's getting minutes as well.
He's getting minutes, but are you happy to have a SuperCoach player that's not a front rower that might only play 50 minutes a game?
Yeah, I think that if he was an out-and-out second rower or an out-and-out prop, then I'd be like, no. I feel more nervous about Terrell May than I do about...
Oh, yeah, Terrell May's an absolute enigma.
Connor Watson. It's just the eye test. You watch what Connor Watson does for that team. He has the same impact on that team that Dylan Walker has for us. It just changes the complexion of their team when he comes on. I don't think that there's a job security issue for him.
I think if you've got the trades, like Adam Pormano, our producer, who just hoards them like Smaug in The Hobbit.
Yeah.
and then watches as he slowly drops down the rankings because he refuses to part with any trades. That's a good, like, bring him in, make 100K at the worst case.
Yeah, but
see how he goes.
Yeah,
but if you're tight on trades, I don't think so.
Because who you're bidding for him is your reserve hooker. I think, in my mind, that's how I would do that.
Have you not got Jaden Brayley?
I don't have Jaden Brayley, no. But I'm also just not playing my reserve hooker.
Yeah, I've got Jaden, but I'm not playing him.
Joey Lussick.
Yeah, right.
But anyway, yeah, negative break even. He passes the eye test. I think Connor Watson could be a good go. Any other tips on SuperCoach this week? Who are you captaining? Or who are you
trades and captains and that. My trades this week is, as I mentioned, I have got rid of Dallin Watene-Zelezniak straight to Dong Yum. I also have had Tommy Talau the whole season after Saab went down early doors for the Manly Sea Eagles, but he's kind of done not a lot, so he is finally gone down to David Armstrong for the Knights, who's bottom dollar and is going to go up in price next week. So if you need to get some cash, Dave Armstrong, he's centre wing eligible, playing fullback. Yeah. For the Knights. So having done that, I get Dom Young, and now I have over $500,000 of salary to spend, potentially on upgrading my front rowers, potentially keeping an eye out for fullbacks.
Yep. I am boosting this week.
Wow, how many you got left?
I will have 2 after this. So
nice.
I've had 3.
Yeah.
And I was hoarding my boosts because I famously cannot keep track of Origin. I can't forecast well enough, so I'm just like, ignore it right up until it hits me in the face. And so save my trades for Origin when that happens.
Yeah.
So, but I do have one up my sleeve this week, and what I'm doing with it is I'm using it to get to Isako, Dom Young, and Ruben Garrick.
That's a real big dick move right there.
Who are all 3, all up around the 700K mark. Dom Young a little bit cheaper. All negative break-evens, all scoring 151, 84, 102.
Yeah.
So I think that puts me in good stead over the next few weeks. None of them will be playing Origin, I don't think.
Nah.
And the cost to me is I have not brought Cleary in. My whole team was set up to bring Cleary in for Sean Johnson.
Right.
And I'm not doing it, and I will explain to you why.
I don't have a problem with this at all.
Yeah. It's because he's coming off an injury, got a dodgy hammy. He's either going to play Origin or he's going to do his hammy again. And so I think come the end of the season, you're definitely going to need to have him in there. But I think if ever there was a time you could convince yourself not to bring him in, it's right now.
2 weeks ago, when he was meant to be coming back, and we brought him in, it was like, yes, you got to bring him in because he's got about 5 games till Origin.
Yeah.
That's 5 shots at over 100 points probably. He then missed a game, looked rough as in his first game back, and now the hammy and then Origin, and then last year, as I mentioned, he came back from Origin and backed up and then injured himself. I definitely think if you're in the position of you didn't end up bringing him in, don't bring him in.
Yeah. And
hold on to Shawnee or whoever.
Yeah, and basically I've looked at the big 3 centre wings that everyone's bringing in and thought, I've got an opportunity to get all 3 of them. It leaves me with 200 cash in the bank, plus all 3 of them are going to make money. So I felt like if you're going to burn a trade, that's probably what it's going to be for.
Yeah, and it makes me feel good that all 3 of those guys you named are already in my team. You know how you were talking about your strategy for buy rounds is just wait till the day before and it'll slap you in the face.
Yeah.
The one that's going to slap me in the face is actually round 14.
Which is after the big buy round.
The round after the buy round, they've got mini buy rounds where 3 teams are on the buy.
Yeah.
Roosters.
Yeah.
Who I've got like 4.
Yeah.
Raiders and Dolphins. So that's your Asako. I've got Jeremy Marshall-King. So I think and you have to field a full team of 17 that week.
That's why you got to bin those Raiders now.
Yeah, get rid of the Raiders. Yeah, definitely. But, when you've got Terrell May, Angus Crichton, Dong Yum.
Yeah.
I don't think I'll be able to field a team of 17, not the reduced 13.
Yeah.
Like on buy round. So that's one that's going to slap me in the face.
There's going to be a lot of, like the fortune that I've had this week of Burbo being named as second row and Blaise Talangi being named at fullback. I just haven't been able to trade them out. And so I helped them through there and I looked inspired at this point.
So you're the guy that bought Bitcoin early and then the arse dropped out of it, but you forgot about it.
Yeah. And
then now it's back up again.
Yeah. I'm like, see, you pussies.
You got to stick with it.
Yeah. All right. Let's park SuperCoach for this week. Hopefully that you gleaned a little bit of information out of there. Please, as always, feel free to correct us in the Mad Monday Munters group on Facebook whenever we misspeak. We're going to take... Yes, sorry.
Quick shout out to the Whātau Poko Wombats who's winning the Mad Monday Munters group.
The Wombats are present.
Yeah. Big shout out as well to 19th place Adam Whanua-Kesey.
Shout out to yourself. Quick air break and we'll be back with the TAB. Good punt. All right, Chris, that'll just about do us for today's podcast. Just before we go, we have a good punt to place on, and I would like to walk you through my thinking. I know you've already looked at it.
Yeah.
There's a couple of things that concern you on there. And I'm going to put a 3-leg multi on the Sydney City Roosters versus the New Zealand Warriors. Saturday, 4 p.m, brought to you by 420 Pies on Sky Sport 9. I'm going Angus Crichton anytime try scorer.
Yep, he's going to blow through us there and dot down off Luke Keary.
2 tries last week.
Yeah, he's a freak.
He's a freak. And that's no indictment on the Warriors defense. It's just if he walks out into a rugby field, it looks like he's going to score a try.
He's one of the all-time great try-scoring back rowers. His combination with the half, especially Keary, awesome.
He is incredible. Now, I am going to go, here's a little, I know a lot of people don't like betting against the Warriors, and I don't mind a try scorer because you're kidding yourself if you think no one's going to score a try against the Warriors. If you can't bring yourself to bet against the Warriors, here's a way to tiptoe around treason. You can just take the over on total points. I think there's going to be a lot of points scored this weekend. The TAB said, do you think there'll be more or less than 43.5 points? Oh, I think there's going to be much more than 43.5 points scored this week.
Who's going to score them, Manaia?
Just whoever plays hard and wants it the most, Chris. So what I'm saying when I'm taking over 43.5 is someone's getting walloped this weekend.
Yeah, not saying who.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't see into the future.
Your third one cracks me up.
Now, what I usually do, if they've got the same game claim, usually on the Warriors games, which is a 3-leg multi or more, if you miss by 1 leg, you get the money back as a bonus bet. So I will add a third leg into a multi if I've already got 2. Usually I'll go odd or even.
Points, yeah. So unless they do a droppy.
And then I'll have a look at the teams and think, who can hit a drop goal? Well, boy, can Sam Walker kick a drop goal.
Daly Cherry Evans is a classic one. I never do it with Manly either.
Yes, yeah. Luke Keary will have a crack.
Yeah.
I don't mind Sean Johnson kicking a drop goal. And
Townsend.
And as I said, in this game, someone's going to score a lot of points. And if they're up by like 20 points and they're in position with 30 seconds left to go in the first half, they'll snap off a drop goal.
Oh, either Sean Johnson or Sam Walker.
Someone will, yeah.
Right.
One of them. Yeah. I don't know which one. But it seems like the kind of thing that could happen.
Yeah.
So I don't want to go odd or even because of the drop goal. So I'm going for, will the game go to Golden Point? Fuck no. This game is not going to Golden Point.
I love it because it's the TAB good punt there. If I briefly look at it and then look away, I go, oh yeah, he's definitely rooting for the Roosters there. Like Angus is going to score, it's going to be over 43 points, it's going to be hiding. Will it go to Golden Point? Definitely not.
Absolutely not.
I like it. It's paying $5.17.
Yeah, so we put a $100 bonus bet on that. They'll take it back if it wins. That's $417 into the ACC TAB kitty, and once that ticks over 1,000, we'll pass the savings on to you.
Oh shit! You know what I realised? We didn't talk about who we're going to captain.
Nico Hines.
Really? He's playing the Melbourne Storm. His highest ever score against them is 43.
He could be playing the Monstars from Space Jam.
Right.
I'm captaining Nico Hines. Because I don't want to not have captained him and he does go off.
Yeah, it's a sickening feeling.
Yeah, it's the worst, and it's burned me a couple of times this season.
I've vice-captained Isako, who's playing tonight against Manly.
Perfect. I'll take that advice.
So do that with your new trades. And then I was toying up between captaining Cleary, who's playing the Bulldogs, but his hammy, who knows how he's looking, and he looked like shit that other game. Or last game of the round, Dave Fafita versus the Cowboys.
Yeah, love it.
I'm going to captain him.
I love that.
Yeah, that's a big dick move, but I'm going for it.
With an eye to going VC loop.
That's right.
Powerful stuff. All right, that'll do us for today. The Thursday edition of the Mad Monday podcast, brought to you as always by 420 Pies. Enjoy your weekend of footy, and do join us on Sky Sport 9 for our coverage of round 9. Round 10?
Round 10.
Warriors versus the Roosters, myself and Di. We'll see you then.
See ya.
And Australia without rugby league is not Australia.